Welcome to 44 News Focused on the Candidates. I'm Chelsea Kerbler. I'm joined now with Tina McCormick, the Democrat running for Henderson County Judge Executive. Tina, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
So I'm going to get right to it. A big topic in the county is financial issues. Last summer, the county's reserve fund was less than $2 million. An increase in taxes was passed as a solution to that problem. How would you make sure that reserve fund doesn't dip down again? And would it be through continually increasing taxes, and if so, which ones?
It's not my plan to increase taxes. We need to do a tight review of what's happened, what our revenue is, what's becoming of the revenue that we've acquired. We don't need to be spending money we don't have, but we also need to be very cognitive of the taxpayers' money. Mm-hmm. I know that there's been some issues, but we've not really looked into actually every expenditure. I plan to do an internal audit of all the expenditures and making sure that we're being accountable for every dollar we spend.
And Henderson County can no longer rely on coal severance money. So you said you wouldn't pass any kind of taxes. How would you make up for that lost money coming in from coal severance?
Well, first of all, we need to realize what our occupational tax is going to bring in. We don't have a 12-month figure yet. Until we can look at that and see what we're obtaining from that tax increase, we don't need to be putting that burden back on the taxpayers until we know for sure. Okay.
And the county's 2017 fiscal budget passed this summer was a few $1 million less than years past. Fire departments in particular did not see a raise in funding. The fire chiefs that I spoke with said this is, very crucial, that they need the funding they deserve to, keep the county safe. Would you be more inclined to cut money to the fire departments from current levels, or would you be more inclined to raise taxes to the people of Henderson over current levels?
We don't need to raise taxes unless we absolutely have to. I keep saying that, but we keep putting that burden on the taxpayers. Now, the fire departments is an important issue. We need to have fire protection and safety. We need to figure out how to make that happen. I know there are grants out there, and I am a grant writer, so I know it's complicated, but I'm willing to take the step forward and say we're going to help them not only pursue those grants, but make sure they secure funding.
Okay. Now, the Henderson County Jail has seen a drastic increase of inmates, causing the jail to now be in a financial crunch. The jail has been self-sufficient entity requiring no money from the taxpayers. But now that it's struggling financially, do you think the county should be involved in any way, helping them in this financial crunch?
First of all, I wasn't aware they're struggling financially. Our jail is one of 5 or less that have been in the black for several years. There's some expansion issues. They've got too many people and not enough space to provide food, that kind of thing. So we've got to look at all that. But we have one of the top-rated jails in the state of Kentucky, and I feel a great confidence in our jailer to guide us on what the needs are for that jail, and we'll act appropriately to that.
So if the jailer would come to you and say, we need money, we are seeing an increase in population, do you think the county would be responsible for helping them out at all financially?
Well, I think the county is responsible for the jail to a point, not for infrastructure. I'm sorry, the county is responsible for only infrastructure, but I don't see that being an issue at this time unless something's happened that I'm not aware of. Of course, I'm not in the loop right now. I do try to find out information when I can. I go to every court meeting. I want to make sure that I'm up to date on what's going on, and to my knowledge, they're not in a financial crunch.
Now, another issue in the county is broadband, high-speed broadband internet in rural parts of the county. Do you think that's an issue that should be addressed during your term if you were to be elected, and how would you pay for it?
More importantly to me is making sure essential services are provided. And I'm not saying that broadband's not an essential service, but we have to do a list of priorities. And my plan is to work as a team with the magistrates to come up with that list of priorities and not be basing on wants, but needs of the community. And we can't keep putting things that aren't as important above the things that are important. We have roads that need corrected. We can't keep just letting that fly. We've got to make sure we address all those issues.
Okay. We've seen businesses relocating and expanding to Evansville and Owensboro. How would you make sure that Henderson County is an attractive place for businesses to expand, open, relocate?
Well, I am going to be firsthand involved in all the processes of working with the businesses. I want to know what's going on, what we're doing wrong. Obviously, we're doing something wrong because we're not getting them, but we need to find out what that is, fix it for the future, and move forward. Again, that's going to be a matter of working with the magistrates, working with state-level agencies to see what's out there and what we can acquire. But we need to make sure that we're finding out what's wrong and fix it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining me. Tina McCormick, she
Thank
is
you.
the Democrat running for the Henderson County Judge Executive. You can see all the candidate profiles on our website. Chelsea Kerpler, 44 News.